Dragons, 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 and more dragons. In the penultimate episode of the third season of House of the dragons dance, both in dreams and across Westeros, and the Seven Kingdoms may never be the same. Welcome to TurnTable Tuesdays, reaction podcasts to Season 3 of House of the Dragon, the prequel to Game of Thrones. Be forewarned, each episode carries a spoiler alert as we watch the dance of the dragons unfold. The podcast may also reference Fire and Blood, the novel which the series is based upon. So without further ado. Summoning a dragon is not exactly the same as commanding a dragon. The dragon riders, noble or common, have an uncanny, supernatural bond with them, but even they learn to their folly that dragons cannot really be controlled. The centerpiece of the episode is an unexpected encounter between the renegade known as Sheepstealer and its rider, Rena, Caraxes and its rider, King Daemon, who can protect his daughter no more, even before the shocking arrival of the queen, her dragon and her two dragon-riding escorts. Even the gentle, dreamy, in more ways than one Helena dreams of her dragon. From her first appearance in Season 1, the show, unlike the book, has positioned her as an oracle. The claim is also inadvertently deployed to account for her lifelong eccentric behavior and unnerving remarks. We begin the episode with the only visual dream sequence I can remember allotted to her, and it's a doozy really only because of the foreshadowing of the wintry march of the dead. We don't see the Night King which has haunted Daemon's dreams, but we do see an ominous snow fall upon King's Landing, whose climate resembles our Mediterranean. Helena, the deposed queen, is figuratively yanked awake by her half-sister and active Queen Rhaenyra, who has invaded her royal chambers, now a prison cell. She's come to inquire of her reputed powers to see the future. And when the sweetness has little effect upon the reticent queen, Rhaenyra shows she isn't above physically yanking at her half-sister to demand what her dreams say about her. She has come for Helena to reinforce her belief that her rule is favored by the gods, and apparently won't take no for an answer. The scene cuts away, but not before revealing two things. The lesser is that Rhaenyra is more cutthroat than we suspect. The Queen Dowager Alicent is proven right that Rhaenyra has been changed since claiming the Iron Throne. The more surprising turn is to hear Helena's belief of riding dragons alters the dragon riders in ways which are not to their benefit, which explains why she so infrequently rides her own, and why she will never ride into battle. You get the impression the queen, who always seems a stroke from madness, would prefer riding a butterfly. Her philosophy is shocking because strip away the gentleness, and you arrive at the more damning beliefs of Lord Ormond Hightower, who loathes the Targaryens, even his kingly nephew, and insists they are demonic for their abilities to control dragons. I'm the only one on the internet not so fascinated by Hightower, but I can readily admit he's so far better adept at playing the Game of Thrones than the Black Dragons. His reasoning might be sexist, but he calculated correctly Rhaenyra's mercy, her refusal to burn Tumbleton, shielded her enemies and is leading to her ruin. Daemon was right, she should have burned it to the ground with their dragons when she learned the Greens occupied it. Those who haven't read the book House of the Dragon are lulled into thinking he thinks he'll bring the Black Dragon Queen to her knees because they've captured her hand, Lord Corlys. Those of who have read the books would not be completely shocked by the last scene of Ormond having a toast of ale with Ulf the White. The betrayal I hinted at in the last podcast is halfway sealed in this episode. Hugh the Hammer is absent, but it's not important. Ulf's treason was always more predictable and villainous. Poor One-Eyed Aemon, the new Lord of Harrenhal, diverging widely from the novel, his dragon, the largest living beast in this story, is absent, location unknown. The witch Alice Rivers is both nurse and lover. Though she may have cast a spell on him, his dreams are still vividly Oedipal, in the crudest terms, and then his mother literally shows up to kill him on behalf of Rhaenyra. The less expended on this ridiculous storyline the better, when Alice yells, "Idiot." At the end of this folly, you should feel her exasperation. The show is obsessed with lesbians, Alicent as the most desired woman in Westeros, and betraying the book in so many, many fundamental ways. So why should I be surprised when Sunfer appears risen from the grave? In an earlier episode, when the fleeing, disfigured King Aegon discovered his dragon's dormant body in the Riverlands, he insisted it was only sleeping, resting from her battles during the Dance of the Dragons above Rook's Rest. As Aegon and his protector Lord Lannister stand to face and die from the advance of soldiers loyal to Rhaenyra, they suddenly back off terrified. In a scene which is deliberately reminiscent of Aegon's blackly comic kingly coronation in Season 1, in which he was upstaged by an enemy dragon's appearance, his grandiose monologue is upstaged by another dragon, Vhagar, no, Sunfire, risen from the dead, and ready to spew fire again for its rider. That's the penultimate episode of Season 3 of House of the Dragon in a nutshell. But what do you think? Leave your comments down below, and be sure you are a subscriber. Remember, winter is coming, and you don't want to miss our next podcast.